welcome to 15. Marcus is coming in hot, talking shit about O-linemen and their inability to lift $6,000 in quarters.
Okay, yeah. So, two things. I was at Target, and it said that there was a coin shortage still. I don't know if they took that down. They didn't take
Artificial.
it down. I don't know if that's old or if that's just them being dumb. But, there's no way you have a coin shortage because I'm not going to disclose the information I have available on my current Walmart's coin status, but we have a metric fuck ton of coins.
About 300 pounds.
More than what I weigh. Yeah. Just in quarters alone. So you do the math. But
I already said the answer.
Well, they'd have to figure out how. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah.
How could you?
I call BS Target.
How could you go into Target without just bursting into flames? Because you work at Walmart.
I don't know. Yeah,
I've said that same thing about churches, but here I am.
Hey, they have Lego Architect Series. Walmart doesn't carry that. You can buy it online, but they don't have it in store, which is a big. That's why I was there. I bought the White House today.
You had to go into enemy territory to get your Legos.
Yeah, I wanted a Lego set today, and I'm like, fuck it. I still have a 3D puzzle I have to assemble of St. Paul's Cathedral, which will be fun. Anyways, topic number 2, what I was saying stuff right before the podcast was I was watching Cole Van Lanen, I think that's his name, Wisconsin O-lineman. I think he was a freshman or a sophomore when I was a senior in high school. I think he was a freshman. Anyways, offensive lineman for the Badgers, and they had a Instagram post on him doing the 225 bench press or whatever, and he got 22 reps. And
really?
I was like, bro, that's it.
I haven't bent. I'm about 200, 210 pounds, and mostly been running, and I could probably go out right now, and it's fucking 30 degrees outside, and run a 4 mile in sub 32 minutes. I know this is not blazing fast, but I'm also 200 fucking pounds. I haven't benched seriously in 2 years, and I could probably go do that right now.
Yeah. I was just like, that's a joke.
What's he weigh? 300 fucking pounds? That's doing push-ups.
Let's look this up. That is essentially doing.
That reminds me, there's always an NFL, some cornerback, or whatever, that can't do it once.
Yeah.
We'll do one. That's their max is 225.
It's like Jared Abbrederis doing 3. It's why even do it? I mean, I guess if you're up to yeah. I guess if you're just out there trying to prove people wrong, but three reps isn't shit. So it doesn't tell me his weight. Hold on, that's the Badgers website.
The thing that I always understood about the bench press was it's not about a show of actual physical strength, but it's a show of durability for guys. If you have a really strong bench press, it means your girdle is your shoulders girdles are still intact, so you can actually lay some fucking damage on people. But if you can't do any, it means you're just shredded already. So you're not going to be in the league for 30 years if you can't do a whole bunch of bench.
Well, it's also think about the combine. Think about what it's trying to do. You're trying to get a lot of people through a relatively standardized form of physical testing in order to compare each other against statistics. It's just normal standardized testing. It's not the best form of testing, but you're trying to make it relatively quick. Trying to get testing done relatively quickly that allows you to compare a broad range of statistics across a broad group of people. Would a 1 rep or 3 rep max bench where you work up slowly be a lot better at actually determining strength and how powerful someone is? Abso-fucking-lutely. But it's not going to be nearly as quick as putting 225 on the bar and having everyone just cycle through it and bench it for reps. You can do that. You get the whole combine through in the morning. If you ever work up to a 3 rep max, you're probably going to be there for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Well, I was
also makes good TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing a guy.
Let's not forget when Ryback and I know his fucking name, the big black dude that was a pro strongman before becoming a WWE wrestler, had a bench off where they benched 225 and they were both in the 50s.
I believe it.
And it was actually 2 1/4. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I was going to say, last time I did it, it was 26 or 28. I have short arms. If you don't know who I am, I'm like 5'7", so.
You got to short everything, Marcus.
Yeah, well, except my back. My back's longer for someone who's as tall as I am. So yeah, I got that torso shit going on. Thanks, Dad. Anyways, yeah, it's more about like endurance, and I think what you said about like your shoulders, I think that's something I never thought about, but that makes sense. But it's more like an indicator of like your like muscle stamina and stuff like that too, because I'm not saying it's easy to bench press like 455 once, because it's not, but like being able to rep out like a moderate weight for like 30 reps is, I think, says more than a 1 rep max sometimes. At least like in an athletic world where you're like meant to like move around and like shed blocks and stuff like that, compared to just, I mean, like if you're a power lifter, then that's.
I don't think it makes as much sense for football as it does for other sports, because football is not nearly as much of an endurance sport as some other sports are, no. And you're definitely able to get. I mean, because the time between the amount of actual play time, like time in motion, and the time, like your rest period in between, are just massive amounts of rest periods, right? And you can also
stop and go.
Let's and you can get switched out and not necessarily play the entire game, or fucking swap in, swap out, and there's defense, offensive line. Like, you're not playing out there the whole fucking time. So I don't think, like, obviously being able to go for how long they need you to go is important. But I don't know if necessarily someone doing 225 for 40 or 50 versus someone doing 225 for 25 or 30 is going to make that much of a difference in their
They should almost have
strength quality.
Like defensive types. They should have defensive types do, like, max for a set of, like, 4. And then they should have offensive types do, like, a max of, say, like either 8 or 12 to replicate like a drive. Or even, like, in theory, like a perfect defensive go would be 3 and out, so it's 3.5, 4 reps. So you should do your 4 rep max, and then for like an offense, you should take the average drive, a number of plays in a drive, and do that many in a set.
What if you do a sled push?
That would be at least.
Do they have a sled push in the combine? I actually don't know what they have in the combine besides the 40-yard dash and.
They do a bunch of jumping too, a lot of jumping.
I think like a prowler, movements. Like a heavy prowler with a controlled friction variable. So just basically having the same type of pads on like AstroTurf, so you can constantly ensure that you have the same whatever the fuck it's called, but friction year after year, and then having a heavy prowler for like a 10 to 15 meter push. I think that'd probably be a pretty good one.
That would be a good one.
I mean, because
you kind of.
Sorry. Go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm sure they do that in like practice, anyways, because I remember we did stuff like that for like O&D line. So.
Well, that's because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Like, no one like.
Well, that's different.
Whenever
though.
you block, you're not benching the person. You're pushing them.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you argue that when you're doing a bench press, you're pushing the bar away from you? You're not trying to like. You're.
Not the way football players bench.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, they basically don't use their fucking legs. They bench with their goddamn arms and their chest, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say.
To be fair, it's hard to get your legs up and to keep them balanced enough to keep the bar on your feet. It takes a lot of like flexibility through your hips to get your legs up that high. So
that's actually how they invented the leg press. That's how they used to do leg press. You do that in a Smith machine. And before the Smith machine, they would do that with a free bar, and people would lie on their back, put the bar on their feet, and press the bar up. I'm not bullshitting you.
Terrible, terrible way to die.
I've seen people do it with Smith machines, but like not with like an actual barbell.
This is 100% a real thing.
I believe it.
I wish it wasn't.
What wasn't?
I said I wish it wasn't a thing. I wish you were lying. But it's worse that you're telling the truth and people actually did that.
Dude, it was like the 40s and 50s and shit. They had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
A little wild time back then.
Like, if you were like... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, the amount of progress and, like, understanding of, like, movements and, like, muscle groups and everything like that. Yeah, it's absurd. It's, like, literally, like, why was my first reaction to compare it to, like, taking a shit? I don't know. I guess it's like squatting in the woods.
Why was it?
Using pine needles as, like, ass wipe compared to, like, indoor plumbing now.
People have been working out forever, though.
Yeah.
Like, literally forever, there's been organized sports of some shape or kind.
Well, I was gonna say, like, harvesting a field with a scythe. Yeah, I guess that's exercise because you're doing that all day, and it's not like
that's a sport in Eastern Europe. It's like but they grow specific patches of grass for like some amount of time, and then they have races. So it's like a one-on-one. It's like who can like cut this grass the fastest. Yeah. They do big patches, and they have to like. People they get into it.
Competition is inherent in the human existence, and no matter what, there will always be competition.
Max the philosophizer.
No, just hears stuff and repeats it. Pfizer.
Ooh.
Oh, I heard a
other thing. Go on.
Yeah. I heard a funny Arnold quote, and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
They're all funny whenever he says them.
Oh yeah, he's a super funny guy. But he's talking about like setting your schedule so you can have more hours in your day. Talking specifically about sleep. He's like, to set your schedule, sleep 6 hours a day. People always say, "Oh no, I need to sleep 8 hours a day. That's how many you need." And then his response is, "Well, just sleep faster." And I don't know why that made me giggle.
That's like pure Austrian thinking right there.
Right. You need to do 6 hours of work in 8 hours? Work faster. You need to sleep 8 hours of sleep in 6 hours? Sleep faster.
How do we make the trains run on time? They get there 5 minutes early to every station.
Yep. Make them go faster. Oh. It was just funny. Oh, it's really raining.
Oh, it's raining there?
That's that noise. Okay, I was like looking around. I'm like, someone pissing?
Kind of.
That would make sense. That would make more sense. I mean, yeah, God's pissing on us. Sorry for you religious people.
They don't exist.
If they were religious, they have not continued to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I haven't even started saying Jesus can't play rugby.
Oh, yeah.
I've been saying that one at work lately, and some people just cannot fucking believe it. Like, just the amount of verses I have for it, and they'll just be like, I'll say one, I'll say it a few times, I'll let it go a couple days, they'll bring it up, and then I'll just bring up a completely another verse, and they'll just stand there and look at me just flabbergasted.
It's not even a bad one. But, like, my favorite, the Jesus can't play rugby one, is that he can't eat Skittles.
Why is that?
I think I need
He's got holes in his hands, and the Skittles will fall through.
Oh.
So it's fun to sing it because then you can like hold it up, like act like you're pouring Skittles in your hand, and then act like they fell through your hand.
I'll say that one at work on Monday.
Oh yeah,
they'll appreciate it. I'm really hoping.
Did they not realize it?
At some point, I get to call cadences because like I'm gonna get in like
rugby songing it up.
Big trouble with the equal opportunity NCO whenever I start calling like fucking Yogi Bear or something.
Yeah, that one might get you in trouble.
I don't care. I don't care at this point. Fuck them.
Yeah. You should just challenge them to a lunge off.
No, I'll win.
I'll listen to you when you can do more lunges than me. What's that even mean? Do more lunges. That's what it means.
Oh, you know what would be a good workout? You
a lunge off?
Run a mile. Do lunges for half a mile. And then do 100 burpees as fast as possible. Then lunge back a half a mile. And then run a mile.
I think I'd rather kill myself.
I mean, that is an option.
I think you
My name's Marcus,
you probably die along the way. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just waiting until.
That sounds like cancer.
Yeah, I'm just waiting until I'm like in charge of PT again, and at some point, we're going to do a workout that is 10-minute AMRAP burpees, 10 minutes of rest, and then 10 minutes of AMRAP burpees.
Oh my god.
You're just trying to ruin everyone's week.
Yeah, no, I just want to ruin everyone's mood. I just like I want to do this on like a Monday and just fuck their week.
Everyone's just gonna be like wobbling around all week.
Yeah, we're gonna go for like a 5-mile run because Monday's run day, and then we're gonna be like, all right, 100 burpees as fast as possible. Whoever loses has to run again.
Ha! Ha!
Yeah.
You fuckers thought you liked me? Guess again.
Oh, I've already had people come up to me and be like, I hate when you lead PT. We had I think it was Tuesday. And we only did PT twice this week so far because, it's Wednesday. We were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and we ended up doing pull-ups for an hour. Like, no shit. We had 4 sets of pull-up bars, probably 10 people, 12 people, and we did pull-ups and monkey abs for an hour. Most of them couldn't do pull-ups at the beginning. Oh, no. Dude, I did pull-ups, and then I went and pulled deads later in the day. My hands are fucked up right now.
That was like, I went skiing up on Mount Bohemia, and when you're up there, you're basically just delaying your own death until you get to the bottom, and then you kind of reset your timer.
It's kind of a good metaphor for life.
I was holding on to my ski poles so hard and pushing off of them so hard that by the end of the trip, my forearms were like cramping up.
Yeah. That happens cross-country skiing, too. You get like tricep pumps whenever you're not conditioned and stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Skiing's neat.
Yeah.
I think you just
Have either of you guys made it up to Mount Bohemia yet? Yeah.
Nope.
No. I don't even know where that is.
So,
is that like in the Czech Republic?
No, it's north of Houghton, Michigan. So it's like way, way up. Like it's at the very tippy top.
Like my way up?
No, like way, way up for continental U.S. / mostly just way, way up for Wisconsin. It's just in the UP. It's the top of the UP. But so you guys conceptually understand skiing though, right? It's like you ride up a thing and you get down and then there's an area that is designated for people to ski and then you slide down on your planks and then you go to the bottom and you get back on the lift and you come back up, right?
No, this is brand new knowledge to me.
But they have a machine that chops up the snow and grooms it to make it nice for skiing.
Edward Scissorhands?
So those are called, pretty much, and those are called groomed trails. I don't know why I'm going this deep.
Isn't grooming illegal?
But in Mount Bohemia, they don't groom any trails. Their whole thing is that they don't. So when you look at the map, it looks like there's trails, but there's not. It's literally, there's like 2 lifts. There's 2 kind of main paths that they cut because they legally had to. And then it's just like a hill. And they're like, yeah, people die out here, but you're paid to be here so you can just kind of ski around. And it's like you look on the map and there's trails. Like there's areas that you're supposed to ski. It's literally just a forest.
Hey, what's your business plan? Oh, I have this really nice ski lodge and we have these well-manicured trails and like, people come up here, they pay for the experience. Like there's real fresh powder. Like they get like good paces. Like, what's your business plan? We cut down half the trees and tell people they might die. Fuck them.
There was literally, so we were skiing down this area called Extreme Backcountry. Extreme Backcountry. There's just a cliff in the middle of the hill. It's a 120-foot drop. You know what stops you from going off the drop? Like a thin piece of orange ribbon that's like 30 feet long. Doesn't even cover the whole cliff. Like, you ski up, and you're like, what's this thing? Like, all we do is ski around caution tape all day. And then you look, and you're like, I was going to die. That's the whole, that's the whole thing. It's just like, you're going to die. And
that's
just
cool.
Get good, nerd. It says on their, logo, no beginners allowed. That's, their saying.
I mean, that's a pretty fair, saying for a lot of things. Like, I feel like that applies to a lot of life, though. I just don't want to deal with beginners in anything anymore. I'm like, if you're not partially experienced, I don't want to talk to you. Even if I'm brand new at it, I don't want to talk to you.
I even thought I was good at skiing because I ski hard. No, it's a whole different kind of show up there. So,
Yeah.
like, even though you think you know stuff, you don't.
You think you do, but you don't.
Yeah, we're all just idiots. We're just monkeys that think we are smarter than we are.
I don't.
I mean, it's like that. What is that animal called? It's like an octopus.
A chipmunk. Speaking of octopuses,
Are you thinking of
octopi,
cuttlefish?
octopussies.
Squid?
Did y'all see what Joe Rogan posted this week?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
20 minutes in.
The cephalopod that passed a child cognitive test.
Yep,
They're taking over.
that's what I was getting at.
Yep, fucking Japanese knew it was coming. They were already preparing their bodies. They're preparing their people for eventual sex
I hate
slavery.
you so much. Why would you say that? Why would you say? Well, you let those words come out of your mouth in that order.
This is
that.
so. There we go.
hate that
Hentai
so
is a
much.
plot by the Japanese government in order to prepare the Japanese people for eventual indentured servitude and sexual slavery to the cephalopod overlords who will come and rule the planet in the year 2159. You heard it here first.
I don't like that at all.
You don't like it because it's true. Facts make you uncomfortable.
I saw another conspiracy about hentai. It was like they're trying to inspire an impregnation fetish to raise the birth rate in Japan.
I feel like cream pie porn would probably do a better job of that.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't want to
I
talk.
love watching
no.
that.
I mean, we do post to YouTube. I don't.
Let's get demonetized.
Let's get demonetized. It'd be really fun
Us
to
and
get.
our 4 subscribers will be fine.
Do you
We'll
think we
survive without your ad money.
Do you think we could get taken down? Like they'd actually pay us enough attention to take us down with like 200 total views, or like 100 total views.
What
you
are
guys
we
have
saying?
1.7 watch hours. We cannot let this go on.
They're dangerous. They're a menace to society.
They've done enough damage already.
They've
One person
uncovered.
listen to them.
YouTube is run by cephalopods. They've uncovered our plot.
They're onto us. It's like the crab
it's like
people all over again.
I'm so pissed. I was just about to say it, and you said
Beat
it.
you to it.
Oh.
Crab people. Crab.
Crab people look like crabs.
Talk like people. That's the second time today I've sung that, actually.
What?
The first was during crab walk races this morning during PT.
Oh, okay. That's justifiable.
Is that like an
Okay,
everyday thing? Like
No,
you
it's
crab
not.
walk races?
No, it's not.
You should.
You just fucking hate your lives that much. You just decide to do crab walk races.
I was told to. I did not.
What is the dumbest form of locomotion? Crab walk.
I don't know. Have you ever tried
You
to
ever
do
done a crab walk
locomotion.
uphill? Marcus, have you ever crab walked uphill?
No.
I have.
I can't
Fucking
imagine how that
sucks.
would work.
Have you ever
It's
had
just
to?
like oh.
So I see your dumbest form of locomotion being crab walk. I raise you the burpee broad jump, which is where
Oh my
you
god.
do a burpee, but instead of jumping up, you do a broad jump
forward.
and then back into a burpee.
I hate you.
How does... So do you land on the broad jump and then go into your burpee?
You land, so like you start, you go down, do your push up, come back up. On the way up, instead of jumping up, you jump out. Land, stand up straight or not, go straight back down into your push up, come up, jump.
Why don't you do one?
Because
Demonstrate.
there's no room.
That's...
Well, chop down a wall and get going.
If I could remodel my house, I would. That's my dream, Marcus.
Oh, so at the clinic, every single TV plays HGTV all day. every day. That's just
Sounds
what
awful.
the clinic's like. This is the show we're watching. It's House Hunters. All day, every day. Literally all day. I have never seen a TV that we weren't actively messing with that was playing anything but HGTV. And so it's fun to watch because it's actually really good for it because it doesn't make anyone mad. Everyone can watch it for 5 minutes and kind of shrug. But it's enough that you can pay attention to it without the words. And it also, you don't feel bad leaving it because it's the same. It's always just like, oh, they did white on white. I don't think that's great. And then you leave and it's fine. But either way, so they're like, there's a young couple trying to buy a house, like kind of like middle north California. And they're like, we got this great budget. And they start interviewing. And it's this lesbian couple, this young lesbian couple. I'm like, I don't know, this is different than a normal couple. And then they start talking, and they're freaking rugby players.
Of course
and
they
like, you guys are just perpetuating a stereotype. And then they're like, how did you meet? It's like, we both played rugby together at college, and now we're married. I'm like, you guys, come on.
Just think, they probably broke up a rugby team.
They probably did. They probably did. Oh. Ooh. Were they hot?
No, they're lesbians.
No.
And they're rugby players.
They're...
I'm sorry if you're a female rugby player and you're listening to this. Unless you're a back, you're probably not hot.
They were in a weird spot, though, because they had a decent budget, but it just like... Their realtor just kept showing them these really fucked up houses.
Hold on. I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Why were they fucked up? Were they like Baba Yaga's house? Were they on like chicken legs?
No, so
yes.
Like they had like a $400,000 budget, and you're like, for $400,000, I feel like you should be able to like get a somewhat decent house that's like ready to move into.
It's like a 2,000 square foot apartment in fucking California. What the fuck's up? She has no idea how to smile. She just like put some fucking oranges in her teeth and look in the mirror.
She looks like she got hit in the head and forgot how to smile.
Hold on.
Oh, so speaking of getting hit in the head playing rugby, the farther...
Just gonna transition away from the house hunting lesbians?
Yeah, we're gonna transition away from the house hunting lesbians before I say something that will actually get me in trouble some point in the future. So you guys, you guys are probably like 6 months to a year out from actually having played rugby. Probably a little more than that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm probably like 3-ish, 4-ish years out from having actually played rugby. 3-ish. 2-ish.
Yeah.
3-ish.
I'd say 2-ish.
Yeah. I feel so much smarter and just more there cognitively now. And I keep feeling that way the farther I get out from playing rugby. I can't imagine the number of fucking concussions I had from rugby.
I honestly have no idea how I made it through with like an advanced, like a high level degree. Like I got a degree in biochemistry and I played rugby the whole time. I can't imagine how many days I rolled into class just like glazed over. It's like, what did you do this weekend? I got drilled in the head.
I was like talking to my wife, and it's always scary because we were talking about that. That comes up every now and then. It's like, yeah, I had to help you walk to your car after some games, and you should drive because I'm not capable of driving right now. And it's like, and you sure I wasn't drunk? And it's like, no, not yet. That was later.
Not yet.
Well,
I remember the scariest one for me was so it was the first time we qualified for 15s nationals. We played like a knockdown, drag out battle in the mud in November in Wisconsin. It was a really cool classic game, but our 15 at the time, Jonah, it doesn't matter, Jonah, yeah, but he was playing 15 and he came up. This guy broke the line, big guy. Jonah came up and made this like score-saving tackle, but in the process took a knee straight to the forehead. So then we ever reset the line. We're playing tight defense, and Jonah's just freaking out, and he ends up getting red carded and thrown off or yellow carded and thrown off the field. And so game ends, we won, great, take a bunch of pictures. Everybody get in the car, time to go home. Driving for like half an hour. Jonah like wakes up and he goes, "Did we win?" And I like turn to him like, that was like half hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour ago. Do you know where we are right now? And he went, "In the car." Like, dude, did you just wake up? Like, we won. Like, and then he was excited, but he was all kind of like freaked out because he just woke up after being awake for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's a Polak.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
We really probably should have had an actual actual fucking sports trainer with us.
I talked to a lot of sports trainers though about concussions and concussion protocols and when to pull guys, and they were saying that having someone there all the time, the value there isn't that you have somebody that knows like the signs and symptoms, it's what everyone's baseline is.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to someone, it's like that's why we did a better job with it as I rolled into leadership, because I was really paying attention to it. Was if you acted one way all week and then you played for 10 minutes and then I was talking to you and you were like kind of out of it, like you can tell when guys are out of it. So it's better to self-police than to have somebody that you don't know come in once a week and just tell everyone they have a concussion because everyone's a dork.
Absolutely. That's why most concussion tests don't work in the fucking hospitals.
Because you don't have a baseline. That was something we did in high school. Was you could go in and take a baseline test, and everyone tried to like game the system and be like, you have to do terribly when you do your baseline test, but you want to try and do it as accurate as you can. But it was just like basic memory and pattern recognition and stuff, and they would check for time, and then they would check your pupils before and after and see if they were like jacked up, but then you could return once you got within some value of your original score. And so that was a cool baseline system that they were doing.
Stuff like that's useful. Something that's really important to watch, especially in high school athletes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I like to get really romantic, but yeah.
I just thought that was
just kind of knowing your buddies.
Just thought it was interesting to see how much smarter I feel, how much more I'm able to actually focus on reading and like long tasks now that the farther out I get away from, and like my mood stabilized a lot more the farther away I got from playing rugby, and the amount of fucking concussions I probably had.
I know, like, when I stopped playing rugby too, like, stopped drinking so much. Like, it's a hard culture.
Oh, you stopped?
And, like, it's a party culture. I didn't, like, stop, but I
did.
Like, I don't enjoy it in the way that I used to. Like, it's just, you just calm down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's different. Whenever you don't have the fucking dudes to go break down rip the walls out of the house every fucking weekend.
Yeah. Marcus, how's Walmart Academy doing?
Oh, that was wonderful. I came in not super motivated, but I was like, okay, let's be professional. For like 2 hours in, and I was just like, okay, this sucks. But I only had to do it 3 days. I had to go in for an entire week at some point, and I just found myself like nodding off quite a bit. Yeah, really boring. And then we talked about diversity, inclusion, and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Always the most important facet of leadership.
Hey, did you know? Yeah, apparently 66% of store managers in 2017 were female. So, there you go. No, doesn't really mean anything.
Ask
just a number.
Your female hourly employees if they feel more likely to achieve success knowing the fact that 66% of store managers are females.
The answer is probably, what?
You have a spill you want me to clean? Oh, how'd you like my suggestion on how to discipline your fucking retarded employee?
I liked it. Well, I can't do like the push-ups and stuff.
No,
like
you
that,
obviously
or
can't
whatever
make him
those.
push, but
No, but like the candy one, I like that a lot. So Keegan, I'm gonna give you a little bit of backdrop. Well,
Throwing
background
candy at
information.
this poor guy.
Yeah,
no,
so
counting
I'm
candy.
I'm really relaxed. I don't get on people's cases because you know I go about it how I would want. So like, yeah, I really don't care if you're on your phone. Just don't be like stupid about it because I'm gonna be on my phone at some point, or don't be doing
Hmm.
this too much. If you do it a little bit, whatever, fine. Just don't let it like affect your
Don't
working
let it become a
ability or work
habit, right?
capacity. Yeah, so I'm pretty relaxed about that because I feel like that's how it should be. And for the most part, I'm pretty easygoing. But like when I get like reports of other people telling me about like, hey, so and so is doing this, hey, so and so is doing that, like it gets kind of aggravating because it kind of reflects poorly on me. But not only that, but like I'm giving these people, usually it's the younger people, I'm giving these people like leeway, to like make work better and like for them and like just trying to be understanding, and they're just like hanging themselves with the rope. And I had a guy at high school to tell me that he is not afraid of me because I'm not scary like one of the other team leads are. And I'm like, are you stupid? Why would you tell me that? Like, why? So I'm gonna try and get creative, but like he's definitely gonna like learn that that's not no. Like I'm trying to be the understanding, nice person, but like when you say stupid stuff like that, like what do you think's gonna happen? So,
So
and there's another guy who's on my watch list too. So,
so an actual suggestion. Then you'll have to forgive me if you're already doing this. Like I'm obviously not all the way in the situation as you are. I'm not there. I'm not able to actually observe.
yeah,
But if you're giving them leeway and they're hanging themselves with that leeway, it seems one of the things that will help a lot in situations like that is actually not necessarily explaining to them, but demonstrating that to them what they are supposed to do with that leeway. If you just sit there and tell people, love to ignore you and not pay attention because that's what people do. You can tell people
yeah,
a billion fucking times to do something, and there's 5 out of a fucking 100 that'll actually do it.
mm-hmm.
But actually
yeah,
demonstrating and rewarding and disciplining when necessary in order to get the desired outcome and behavior. And really making sure that you are demonstrating correct behavior for you to give them that leeway. Like, hey, like, I want you guys to be able to have your phones and use your phones at work because this kind of sucks and it's stupid, but you need to know when is appropriate in order to use them. Is setting that
I think that
expectation with them before, because a big thing a lot of people have a really hard time with is setting their own expectations, and that is something a lot of people that are used to living a relatively disciplined life and setting those expectations for themselves fail to understand, because you judge people based on how you yourself would react to many situations, and you're going to react and the way you will react in a situation is often very, very different than, this is going to be kind of mean, but it's whatever, fuck you, I don't give a fuck, what low performers
yeah,
and like average performers are going to react to in a situation.
yeah,
So making sure you go out of your way to set that expectation, your expectation of them and your desired outcome and behavior, and then demonstrating that will go a long way towards actually affecting change and getting them to do that. You don't need to be scary. You really don't. And
no,
if that's what the dude's responding with, he's just kind of being a fucking prick because he feels like he can be a
oh,
prick.
he's brainless.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying
Take
that
to
because
the
you're a high schooler, because like I was a high schooler and I did dumb things too and I said dumb
I
things,
still do
but
dumb
like,
things.
well, yeah, we still do, but like, there's like a level of understanding and like openness when I was like high schooler, when I demonstrated I had the ability to overcome some things and like be open and
Keegan, are
not
you
be a
falling
total
asleep?
prick.
I
But
am
like,
falling asleep.
Nice.
I don't agree.
it's not there with him. So like I'm gonna make him an example out of it. Not that I'm gonna like chastise him or anything, but like it's just like, hey, you're gonna end up doing stupid shit what you don't like. But yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. And another thing is, I realize I try and be equal and fair to everyone, but some people I have to treat differently than others. Some people I can give more leeway than others because I know that they'll get this stuff done. And some people I really just have to watch over them more because they're not going to do anything. So it's kind of like, go on.
Well, and it's, there's a couple things. Like, one, unfortunately, you do have to treat people differently depending upon who they are. And a fair, nice, fun world where you could treat everyone exactly the same and everyone would be able to respond exactly the same. And you wouldn't have to, if you were treating them in a fair and equal manner, you wouldn't have to modify your behavior in order to please them because they react differently to certain fucking situations. But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. Some people, well, everyone reacts differently to different situations, and you have to be able to modify your own behavior in order to affect the desired outcome out of that individual. That is just a fact. You have to.
Yeah.
Some people require motivation different ways. Like, we all have that fucking we all have those lifting partners. We have some lifting partners that need to just get wound up and just need to be fucking slapped and just beaten to shit before they step under a bar to squat, because if they're not like ready to rip the bulls or the fucking testicles off a bull and run 100 yards away from it, they're not going to stand up with the bar. And then we have that one weird ass friend who sits there, closes his eyes, takes 3 deep breaths, and fucking just goes. It's the same. Yeah. Like, everyone reacts differently to different stimulus. The other thing is, whenever it's like it comes to disciplining, these people, at any time you are correcting behavior of any sort with humans, you need to explain to them why you are correcting behavior, because they need to know what they are doing wrong. This goes for children, this goes for teenagers, this goes for adults. If they don't know why they did something wrong, and you're correcting them for that, they're going to probably continue to do behavior, and they're going to grow to resent you because they're going to think you just don't like them instead of understanding why you're actually doing it. Taking that 5-10 minutes to pull them aside and go, hey man, I want to explain myself to you so that way we are on the same page and you understand what I am talking about. The other thing that allows you to do is it allows you to build that it allows you to start building that paper trail. So that way you can protect your own ass whenever it comes to corporate and they go, well, fucking Private Snuffy has been saying that you've been harassing him with corrective training and that you aren't smoking him, you're hazing him. And you get to go, well, no, I'm not. Here is every counseling, or every single time I've talked to him written down on paper. Here are my counselings for him, trying to correct the behavior. And he is refusing to change and refusing to adapt to the situation. This is not hazing. He is just refusing to change his behavior.
I think that's a good one.
And you never want to, like, try and tear people down.
No.
Like, if he's, like, trying to be a dick like that, he's looking for a response. But he's not looking... He's looking for you to get mad or, like, try and do something brash or dumb. But what you can do is, like, think of when we would play rugby, like, when you help somebody up and you say, hey, great game, like, great hit. Like, it throws them off because they're looking for that aggression.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're looking for a push and they get a pull, then they're done.
Well,
and if you're just overwhelmingly positive and you just treat everyone with respect and you make the paper trail and you do the right things and then they still fuck up, that's their fault. And then you can say, like, I need this guy transferred off my team. He's an active fuck up, and these are all the things that I've done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be kind of a shocker coming from me, but treat them with compassion, because oftentimes people that are actually lashing out at work like that and lashing out against people that they feel they can, and especially that they can say shit to and get away with it, are typically going through something themselves. And just coming down hard on them and being a fucking cunt to them, although it may be satisfying to you to do, which definitely is not necessarily the right answer for yourself or for them, because you might actually have the opportunity as someone who holds as a formal leader in their lives to set a proper example, be able to pull them aside and go, like, hey man, like, you all right? Like, I mean, I don't think you have that relationship with this person. You've said that he's newer, and stuff. And it's Walmart. It's not the Army, so leadership in the Army is obviously a little bit different from Walmart, but you're going to have those employees that you work with for 6 months to a year who become working friends, essentially, that you are able to do that with. That and it really is important. Like, and oftentimes, even if you just like do that, just showing that you actually care about your employees is often enough to get them to work to pick up that slack they were dropping. Because they're like, no, this dude, like, they actually care about me. Like, no, they're not necessarily able to fix the issue that I'm having, but they do care and they do want to try and work with me. And I know that maybe Walmart isn't able to approve my fucking leave packet to take care of my family shit, but I know Marcus is up there fighting the good fight, trying to get it taken care of for me.
Yeah. And, like, I don't think I've seen people just get bitched at, like, out on the floor and stuff like that, and that's not, no, that doesn't work with anyone. Like, especially at, like, a retail store when you're at your job, you know, like, that's just embarrassing. Like, you're only going to create, like a growing rift in between you and the associate. Like you were kind of saying, you just need to, like, pull them aside and talk to them, see what's going on, and, like, explain to them what's going on and what you need from them, and, like, what they can do to, like, become better, and, like, maybe even what you can do for them to see if there's something you can do better, what resonates with them.
Yep. Praise publicly,
so, yeah, like,
discipline privately.
I like that.
I think yeah.
You've heard that before, right?
I don't know if I've heard it said, like, outright in such, like, I've heard that philosophy, but I don't know if I've just heard it in being like dirt kind of talk.
Yeah.
It's such a concise ism.
Yeah,
well,
that was
really
probably the more.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, yeah. That's pretty.
I just feel like a dick because I've been talking a lot, but
no, you're good.
The one I really like.
You talk.
The one I really like is Jocko's. I'm gonna keep talking over you. But it was the anytime you have to, as a leader, anytime you have to resort to, well, you need to do this because I told you to do this, or
that's a loss.
Anything close to that it's a loss. You may have won that battle, but over time, that is, like, I mean, you may have won right there, and he may go and do what you tell him to do, and there's 100% a time and a place for that, and sometimes things just need to happen without asking questions. But you will take a net loss over time because you had to just impose your will over them. Everyone should be able to, and help me with this, Keegan, because it's been a while since I listened to that one, but it's, everyone, you should be able, they should do it according to their own will because they understand the cause for it, without necessarily you having to explain it. But if you have to explain it, you explain it. Those
right.
Really
you described it as
sorry.
You described it as leadership capital.
Yeah.
So when you work with somebody, you gain so much trust, and if you have a lot of this leadership capital, if you've been working with someone for a really long time, and you earn leadership capital by doing things the right way and maintaining your composure, and when they say, why should I do this, you tell them why they should do that and how they should do it. You do it correctly. And sometimes you can barter a little bit of that leadership capital for something done right now. So, like, if we were on the podcast and we all have this great rapport and it's all great, and I go, Marcus, I need you to come to my house right now. If we have enough leadership capital, you'll go, why? And I'll just say, you just have to, you just will. But you can only use so much of that leadership capital, and you never know when you're going to need all of your leadership capital right now. So you should never spend it when it's not an emergency.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of
so
putting
in
it.
theory,
That makes sense.
and you should never spend it. Just in general, you should never need to. So
Yeah.
then you should trust and train your people so that if there ever was an emergency and they needed to step up and fill the gap, they could.
Building
That's
culture.
a lot of decent. Yep.
You should strive to build a culture in whatever area you work, whether you're the boss or the not. You should strive to build a culture where you trust everyone around, everyone that works for you to be able to act autonomously. Because
slows down, still fucks it up.
yeah, because they are They understand the decision-making process because you've developed it through that culture. They know what the right answer is and what the wrong answer is because you've developed it in that culture and they've seen the example set before them, so they're able to actually think independently. They don't need to be told what to do and are able to act that way.
Speaking of the Jocko podcast, they recorded a 5-hour podcast and released it today.
Oh my
with
God.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh wow.
And, that makes sense.
Like I always but just like the 5-hour aspect. It's like, because when we record these, when we were starting to record these, I was like, oh, like a normal podcast is like 3.5 hours long. And then we would record an hour and a half, and I would be so tired.
So
like I don't want to. And I was actively falling asleep like 10 minutes ago because I'm wiped at the end of the day. Like, can you imagine doing this for 5 hours?
it would be different. So I think one of the big things that's different is we've completely freeball it.
Yeah.
We just like whatever we want to talk about, we talk about. If we actually had a topic that we wanted to talk about that we actually researched and had material to pull from for it, I don't think going for 2.5 hours would be as bad.
No. I
I
think too having guests helps.
Yes. And doing it as often as he does, though, has to be just fucking exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it would be a lot easier to go for longer having an actual topic like that, like going through like John Stryker Meyer's books or talking about stuff from his books or interviewing Tulsi Gabbard and stuff. But
Mm-hmm. And like he interviewed Dean Stott, a super cool character. I highly recommend that one. But they were just like, dude, tell me about your life. Essentially, read through your autobiography, and that ended up being like just shy of 3 hours.
yeah,
But just sitting down for that long and just talking through stuff. Once you've sat down and just like it's been an hour tonight and it's tiring, but like freaking 5 hours.
yeah, that's
Holy cow.
that's insane. That was about the same length as the Alex Jones podcast on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Or the Post Malone one where they did mushrooms.
I don't think
What?
I don't think I watched that one.
Yeah.
I
That one
did
was
not-
pretty entertaining.
I'll watch that now. I was just kind of like meh, but like that makes it more interesting.
Yeah, because they take mushrooms like right away. So they essentially have like an entire mushroom trip on the podcast. Post Malone and Joe Rogan. Talk about aliens and shit.
Ugh. Oh, fun little segue about leadership there.
Yeah.
I don't even think
I like the leadership talks.
Yeah, I that was fun too because that wasn't even like. I mean, there's obviously definitely parts influenced by other people, but I think we're getting it's definitely starting to draw more from our own lives as opposed to just parroting fucking information that we hear from other prominent leadership experts.
And it's important to note that like everyone parrots different stuff.
Yeah.
So when we sit down and talk about it, it's almost like exchanging leadership notes.
Yeah.
It's like we're taking leadership 101 and what did you guys get out of that last lecture and
And hopefully what's worked for us. And I'm in a little bit more of I imagine at least that I'm in a little bit more of a dynamic leadership aspect than you guys are because I am an informal and formal leader at work.
You think so?
I don't know. I think so.
No, you are,
just because of the
definitely. I was
nature of
being
my job.
facetious.
Okay.
Like
But-
absolutely hard, yes, but it's just funny.
And it's not
like I'm in
and it's not that I don't think you guys will get there. I just think we are at different places in what we are doing at this point in time.
and literally
Yes.
just different places.
Yeah. That too. Well, the good news is Alaska was above freezing today. That was pretty cool.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question for you guys. Why isn't country music just a bunch of national anthems? Why is there a separate genre?
Why does God hate flags?
Fair enough.
Why?
That wasn't a joke. I want to know why God doesn't like flags. They're just they're just a representation
What
of
makes you-
countries.
What makes you think he hates flags?
It's a play on words with a different word.
Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Damn it, Marcus.
On that note, I think Marcus isn't ready to go to bed.
You literally had to spell it out. Oh my god.
Hey.
Can I say something quick?
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of like leadership before, I'm reading a rather probably popular series by
50 Shades of Grey.
no. Hold on. I forgot.
Twilight.
Idiot. No, that's Stephanie Meyer, by the way. Oh, it's Bill O'Reilly, I think. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm reading one of his books and the series of Killing whatever, and I'm reading right now Killing. Oh, my Siri.
Killing
Amazon
Marcus's
thing,
train of thought.
Guys, it doesn't take much.
I know, buddy.
Anyways, so it's like one of his books. It's called Killing England. It's about the Revolutionary War.
Oh, really?
Big surprise there. Yeah, who would have thought? It was actually about the 2019 Rugby World Cup match where the United States played England and got whooped. But anyways, no. So yeah, it's about the Revolutionary War, very popular topic, at least in like American history, to talk about. Obviously,
I mean, quite possibly
like,
the
the
most
players
important topic in American history.
yes. But the book focuses on Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, George III of England, and like brings up some numerous other like characters throughout like the Revolutionary War. Some are like very inspiring. Patton's one of Patton's ancestors is in there, I guess, and he like gets butted in the back of the head and gets bayoneted a bunch of times and doesn't die until like 10 days later, just off of like will to live. But it's a good read so far. It's very not like academic. They talk about like country bumpkins and cuckolds and stuff like that. But like it's a good read just for like anyone who's like passively reading and doesn't know a whole lot about history or something like that. But like some of the feats what like George Washington does like kind of maintain his new army and keep them in line is interesting, and it's kind of relatable in a way. Obviously, totally different situations than like anything we've talked about, but it makes for a good read. So I thought I would bring that up so you can add that to one of the many super popular books covering historical events. What you should probably read, which most likely other people have heard of. I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not like a niche book. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. But yeah, look into
Hear me
it.
out. Hear me out. Benjamin Franklin biopic with Danny DeVito playing Benjamin Franklin.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
It'd be fantastic.
His
I love
hair
some
and
boobs.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds playing Benjamin Franklin. I'm the trash man. I'm here to clear trash. I throw garbage all over the ring, and then I just start eating it.
Sudoku.
I just start eating garbage.
Oh.
I need to be pure.
He wouldn't even
Well, I
have to
just
get a
almost fell
haircut.
asleep.
No.
It would be good, just ready to roll.
Just be banging
But
French
I almost
floors.
just fell asleep for the second time
Dude, you've
on the
been like...
podcast. I'm fucking outie. Do you guys want to keep going without me? And
What do you call it? I think
I'm
we're
with
kind
the
of...
woman right now.
fair enough.
running out of topics anyway.
Thanks for being patient with me, dude. I'm fucking cashed.
It's okay. It's been
Can
a
I
long
bring
week.
up one more dumb thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, for those of you who don't know what the Guy Fawkes gunpowder plot is, look it up. But I think I would be the perfect Guy Fawkes. I mean, so
Shut
the
up with
story
your
kinda
fucking
goes,
mustache. Get fucked. You think
I
your
was going to do
mustache
that
gives you
for Guy
power?
Fawkes Day. Yes, I was going to do that for Guy Fawkes Day, actually. But short end of it. Ooh, stretchy, dancy.
What about St. Gerbert's Day?
No. Anyways, different discussion later. Anyways, James I of Scotland/England is the king of England at the time being, and they don't like him, so they were going to plant bombs in Parliament, and it famously goes wrong, and everyone in part of the conspiracy, I believe, is like hung or publicly executed. But he's kind of a doofus, so that would work great with me. So, all right, I'm going to shut up now.
So here's an idea. Do you guys want to do a St. Gerbert's Day episode?
Gerbert's Day passed already.
Do you want to do a make-up St. Gerbert's Day episode where we just get trashed and do the podcast?
I like that.
Just got to pick a day. Hopefully not like a Tuesday.
No, Tuesday. Good idea.
I'll need at least a day recovery, so preferably not this weekend because we have a PT test on Monday. But
yeah, probably not this weekend.
But
one of these days we should.
Yeah,
we can organize this off, but we'll attempt a St. Gerbert's Day.
We should
a sacrifice.
Try and get some others in on it too.
Ooh, we should.
That'd be fun. But
we'll put it into the works.
All right. With that, we probably should get going.
Yee.
All right. Thanks for listening,
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
To
I want to say thanks for all the support.
And
but yeah,
unlike, unsubscribe, and leave a nasty comment on someone else's page.
The bigger, the better.
Yeah.
But the meaner, thanks so much.
The better.
And we're out.